All right. All right. Welcome to Bubbles with Bylotas. I don't really know what to talk about today, but I feel like I should do it anyway. My belly. Maybe you can't see it under the bubbles. Got a good old beer belly going. I also eat a lot of beans. Hopefully the bubbles don't clear, but if they do, I'll fix them. I don't care what you think, all right? I'm going to tell you about the Lawless One. Why I'm the Lawless One and nobody else is. One, so you can fucking make sense of everything. You know who that is, then boom. You know who Jesus is, you know who the Lawless One is. Taken care of. Who are you? If you're not that, and you're not that. The thing is, common misconception is there's two lawless ones in reality. One is the real one is the fake. You know the fake because you fucking hate them. That's about all there is to it. They're, I don't know, they're like trying to do something. They have plans. I have plans too, but they're not like those kind of plans. My plans are always able to change. They're evil or bad or anything other than good. I'm good, 100% good. That's why I'm the lawless one, the good one, the real one. I'm getting rid of the fake one that's been like ruining everything. But like, what makes me the lawless one? It's not that I like break laws or I do crime or I like mess things up on purpose. It's that I am like the ultimate exception to all things. Sometimes I like fit in and go along normally, for the most part. But generally, it's always like, well, and then there's him. Yeah, count him in, it's fine. He's with everyone. But why'd you have to... You'll see if you get to know him, if you meet him, you'll know what I mean. It's like, I don't know, I'm just fucking different. Autistic. And I think it's just the nature of my autism. As like a response to general morality. As like the things that bother me. That's a very strange situation. But, yeah. Like, I'll fucking do something like, you know, post a mugshot that everyone's been, like, hating on, and it's like, hey, suddenly that's all the new style. Everyone's gonna be trying to get their mugshots. Or, like I did at the hospital when I told them I was the lawless one. Do things like, well, when it seems appropriate, I will just lay down on the floor right there in front of everyone. Take a nap. People are like, what the hell is he doing? He just laid down on the freaking lobby floor. Taking a nap. They kind of make a small fuss over it. No one really does anything. Ultimately, I do what I want. And it's not necessarily because I want to. It's more like because the opportunity makes it possible. And that opportunity is always subject to change. It's contextual. It's like the flavor of the air. When it tastes right, you can, you know, do something lawless and be good with it. But yeah, I'm not trying to do anything. However, there is something I want to teach people. Maybe I can do that now. These are the lawless ways. The ways that you can be lawless. If you make it a study of yours, a discipline, there are some things you should know. Well, first of all, you don't want to ever, like, cause people problems. You don't want to cause trouble. Just to cause trouble. No. You're willing to cause trouble to do what must be done, but it's not about causing trouble. But you aren't confined by laws. You have like an internal sense. Anyone can have this internal sense. There's nothing different about people. That would mean they wouldn't be able to sense these things. But those senses can help you when you have that developed enough, and you can read subtleties with a sense of being keenly aware of the differences, then you'll be able to know what is lawful and unlawful without needing a document to tell you. However, no, even if you do that, you're always still held accountable by the documents. You cannot escape that. So if you're doing something that you know is lawful, even though it's against the written laws, always be prepared to answer for that. If they catch you, suffer the consequences. That's how you will keep your lawlessness. Make the most of it. But that's typically the guy, like the very party animal, I guess, at like a rock show. You might see a lot of people like that. You might know someone like that. Someone who's just always willing to do the crazy stuff. Someone who will always do it. You can always count on them to come up with something or be willing to do whatever. Those are kind of the lawless ways. But in general, they're willing to break any sort of social rules. That's the main thing about lawlessness. All those invisible laws. You have to be like aware of them, and also just not entirely bothered by them at all, not confined in the least. You just walk right through them as you please, as necessary. But that might not win you friends. I mean, shoot, look at me. I'm like a fucking loner incel outcast that has ever been a loner incel outcast. So, yeah. So that's the lawless one. That's all you need to know about it. I'm the official one. The biblical one. Yes. Yes, someone will do that. That's kind of part of the point. That can be a bad thing, though. That will be different. The first thing right now is like the lawless delusion, but I will create kind of a lawless illusion that people will become deluded by, and then their delusions will be done away with in the next few generations. It'll take an entire generation to pass between before people like forget that I'm even real. They forget all the people that are alive in this time are even real. They don't believe it. They're like, those people, are you kidding me? Those are tall tales. People aren't like that. There's nothing like that in real life. And then someone's going to be like, oh no. They're going to give them the word. Do it again. And then hopefully I'll be, my time will be done. I'll be able to go back into the darkness and not do anything except what I want, or what I have to do. No, it's just necessary. Everyone's fucked up in the world. All the people all the way at the top, they're all fucked up. So, I'll do it. If nobody else will, then I'll do it. Bowls with Bylotas. What else do you want to know while I have you here in the tub with me? You want to know about pornography and masturbation? Ask your parents. I don't have a problem with it. Yeah, I think if you're like, you shouldn't be, it'll be okay, I think, if you're not judging the people on the other side. If you're like willing to go where they are and I mean, not necessarily like you have to do what they do, but you're willing to like accept that, like, kind of thing for yourself too, as like a hypothetical, that kind of like perspective, that kind of willingness, that kind of, then you probably won't have a problem with it. But if you're like, fucking looking down on people who are doing that and thinking they're like, whatever, like, who knows? People always do it for any sorts of reasons. But that's not one that you should do it. You should definitely not do it if you're using that stuff. Otherwise, you're going to get fucking cursed by some kind of sex demon. Now, you don't have to be a porn star to be willing to feel like one, I guess. I don't know. Also, I don't think there's anything wrong with just banging off or rubbing off. It's all good. It's all good. Even if you fantasize, whatever, just do it. Who cares? There's nothing wrong with it. It might affect it, though. I'm not saying it doesn't do anything, but well, either you're going to say it's wrong and you fucking people are going to do it anyway and just feel guilty for it. We don't need that. Because everyone's going to do it anyway, including everyone. So it's okay. That, you got to figure that out on your own. I mean, you're the one who just got the fantasies thinking about it. So you should know what those are for yourself and not expect anyone to be able to tell you their nature. Because you'll know whether it's okay or not. That's about all there is to it. But I don't think you need to feel bad if you're like super sexually attracted to someone in the other side of the room in your class. And like you happen to be like, thinking about that person. I mean, they probably get some kind of like energy from the back end coming into their life. Like freaking ghosts and goblins and stuff. Or who knows what else. Could be anything. Maybe sunshine cherubs and piping pens. It's fine though. You're not doing anything wrong. So don't worry about that. That's like, there's a lot of things that are like that. It's like when you turn something into an action, when a thought, an impulse, an emotion, a desire, when that turns into an action, then you cross the line. It's not always a bad thing when you cross that line, but you do cross the line, and it's something else after your intention, desire, thoughts, feelings. After that manifests into action, you've crossed a line and everything changes. You have to reevaluate what happened. Well, you don't have to. Some things are kind of obvious. You just don't need to think about them. But that would apply to sexual stuff. So if you're like concerned about your sexuality because you like spanking off to gay porn or whatever, okay, don't worry about it. You haven't done any actions. Those actions are different. I'll tell you, I've done actions like that. They are different. It's one thing to have, like, enjoy a fantasy that has no, like, real life consequences or effects. And another thing to engage in that and experience the reality of that kind of bodily exchange. But you don't need to do that to know what is in your heart. And don't worry about it. Yeah, shit, if that turns you on, whatever. It may change, may not. Don't worry about it though, because it's on the other side of the line. You don't need to worry about stuff on that side of the line. Besides, I guarantee, like, if you talk to your girl and she's into it, You probably like incorporate something like that into your own enjoyment and have a good time together. It's fine. Do it like that. That's what I think you should do. That's what I plan on doing with whoever I'm with. I have lots of fun ideas. Like I put in that post, own it. Even if it's kind of embarrassing. Yeah, just if it's you, just accept it. Better that than try and deny yourself, even if it's embarrassing. So if you have those like internal kinks, is the good way to refer to it. I think it's a kinks. Like you got like a water hose, that garden hose. It gets like kinks. Sometimes you need to work a kink out. Sometimes when you turn on the spigot and the water flows, it just like works them all out already. Just the pressure clears them out. But sometimes though, they like fold back on each other and you have to walk over there and kind of like open them up a little bit. You know what I'm talking about? I guess it's kind of like that. A kink is a good way to describe it. There are things you might get hung up on, but it's not going to stop you. You just might need to give some attention to those specific things. Yeah. So, what else? Is that good on that? Does anyone want to know anything more about that? Is the lawless wisdom. I'm not saying you can just freaking do whatever the hell you want inside your own mind about other people. But I'm saying we're not going to make any sort of laws to stop that. You have to be your own law on that. You have to govern your own self. You have to have restraint. You have to be careful. There are consequences. A lot of this is going to be made clear with like real evidence once my situation is sorted out. Because a lot of the problem was people from a distance projecting evil ideas and thoughts onto me, and that distressing me and distressing other people and just like having a negative impact on the world. Because that's what they pass through before they get to me. They pass through the world to get to me, and that confuses things for everyone. So you don't want to be doing that. You're always safe to be doing good stuff in general. But if you're doing like bad, evil stuff, don't do it. You gotta know for yourself. If it feels wrong, you probably shouldn't be doing it. Find something else. However, that's sometimes we sin. Yeah, sometimes we do something wrong. Sometimes we do something wrong, and there's nothing we can do about it. It just happened. Maybe we could have done more, but nothing changes the fact that it happened, and we feel guilty about it. And so, in moments like that, if you know why you feel guilty and what you could have done, or what you would have rather have done, but there's nothing you can do now. Once you understand that, just do your best to acknowledge that, and then just kind of forget about it. Go along your way. With one thing, be ready to face the consequences for your sin. If, for whatever chance, it comes bubbling up out of the drain and confronts you all of a sudden, always be ready to do that before you forget about a sin. It's not always going to do that. Sometimes it will just disappear. But sometimes it will bubble up. It'll find you. And it may be years later, or maybe days later. So, but if you recognize it, and then you recognize what you're going to do if you face the consequences, the worst case scenario, and then you forget about it, you can forget about that too. It'll all get filed away according to that subject. And then when that subject comes up again, those things will come back to your mind, and they'll be available for you. So that's one of the things to do about sin. But you definitely always want to give forgiveness for that if you can. Do as much as you can to get that better. Because forgiveness makes all that stuff good. else you want to know? I want to explain this thing more about the fucking world between you and everyone else. Each individual has their own, like, center of perception, which is reality. Is their own individual reality. It's theirs, only theirs. Nobody else has it. Everybody has one. And our reality, like, kind of spans outward from us, from our perception, from all we know, all we see, all we understand. And it just goes out into where all those things are. And usually it doesn't do anything. Usually it's kind of just, because there's already other people there who have thought about it, projected things, alive or dead. And it's already all taken care of. It's very rare that something you do is, like, new to think about things, a new way to think about things, or a new way to feel about things. It might feel like that. You might feel like the only one who's doing that, who feels that way. But I bet if you give it time, you'll see, like, that resonance will come back to you. You'll see a matching one from, like, another generation before you or something that will set your mind at ease, not make you feel so alone. But so everyone projects that out, and the result is the world. That's everyone's all together at once. That's the world. And that's why you don't want to pretend like you know things about other people that you don't know. Because what you're seeing about them is the world putting a veil over the truth. I mean, it's not like putting a veil over the truth, but it is like a veil in general. It's like illusion glass to look through, and you see the illusion through it, whether it's, it has anything to do with you or them or not. It's just the world's reality. And you might not know what it is. Nobody might know what it is. But that's why you don't want to pretend like you know things about other people that you don't. So if you think something and you're concerned about it, or it concerns you, make a point to know that person. Go talk to them in person and, like, make eye contact. Introduce yourself, shake their hands, high five or whatever, do some knucks. Whatever it is you do, talk to them, tell them your name. Introduce you, just the normal thing. People do it. Nothing special about it. That exchange, yeah, that will show you who they are better than the world will, always. And then you'll be able to think about that as, like, the primary source of information. And then the world will be what's relative to that. And it may be true, it may not be. But if there's, like, bad things in the world about someone that you know is good, you should give that someone the benefit of the doubt and be like, well, that's concerning. Yeah, I'll think about that, but I don't know the whole story yet until I talk to this person, see what it is. If that's something I'm going to do, but, it's not really any of my business, so whatever. They seem fine. I talk to some people that's like, they tell me some fucked up shit. I'm like, damn, I can't believe you just told me that. What am I going to do? I mean, no, yeah, you seem like a good person, but you just, like, well, I'm not going to judge you over it. I'm not going to pretend like I know the situation. You did what you did because you thought it was best. And when you're on the streets, that's a totally different world than when you're living in the world with residences and jobs and all that stuff. All that. Oh yeah, if you're on the streets and you're living off wherever you sleep, you are in a different world. Things work differently there, very differently. So I'm not going to pretend like I know. But still, that's some fucked up shit you just told me. I can't believe that. And then I'm like, man, I hope she fucking exaggerated that story. Because damn, that's fucked up. But I mean, hey, fucking what am I gonna do? We were already fucking having a good time watching some Neptunia. And then my phone freaking crapped out. And she couldn't come back to freaking watch because she couldn't ring my number on the dang door. Or whatever. I don't know. I haven't seen her since. She was on the street by the library. I was coming home from Cairns one day. Just having a chat. about anime or something. I think she saw my air freshener, Louis Breeze, hanging from my cross, my Christian cross, sterling silver. So I think it's the only sterling silver thing I have left. I had a very nice pair of fish. Very important to me. They were in my car when I got arrested in Michigan. I lost everything in that car. I don't know, things like that, they might come back around again. I don't know. We'll see. They're pretty good though, I like that. I was thinking about getting a tattoo or something, like a tattoo, like, should get a navel tattoo. Maybe I'll put it right here in this one where SpongeBob goes. I was having that tattoo removed, I want to have it redone. What else do you want to know? Anything else? What's in my red potion? New ingredients. Yeah, these bubbles are kind of dissipating. You can kind of see a little bit of the vague impression that I have a lower body. Speaking of, yeah, I just gotta. Well, because if something, let's say, if my anaconda pops out, I'm gonna have to do some editing, video editing. I can't really show that. I think I'll have to do some more. But these are gummy worms. Well, compared to a gummy worm. Well, hopefully, I don't get it done, man. There's too much insecurity over that. I don't know the feeling, but I mean, girls ought to be better. But I don't know. Their own bodies. You can be satisfied, can't you? You don't need it to be like that. Well, if it is, sure, great. Well, that shouldn't be why you're fucking hooking up anyway. Should be other things you like. That's what makes that stuff better. And there's those other qualities to mix into that flesh exchange. I don't know what else to tell you. What else should I say? Do you want to know? Sadako and Hikiko? The arrest? There's nothing to say about that. I want to get all that evidence. I want to show all the fucking live feed on that. I don't want to tell you what it is. I want you to see the fucking real thing. You probably wouldn't even believe me if I told you. You'd think I was embellishing. The princess she was there though. I know it. I could sense her. She was inside. We had a kind of a communication going on underneath all that. Well, there's not really much they could do at that point. It was in the hands of the Oregon Symphony Orchestra. They were the ones who were responsible for that, taking the tickets. Oregon Symphony Orchestra fucked that up. It's not Japan's fault. However, they fucked it up, and they're responsible to Japan. So that's why they're involved. Now it's a fucking international claim. And I'm going to sue them. I can't believe they fucking fucked me over like that. I would have left, and there would not have been issues if they would have just told me the fucking reason. Any fucking reason at all. Anything. You can't just say, no, you can't come in. We're not going to accept your tickets. Leave. Are you fucking kidding me? No. Who are you? Get the manager. I'll talk to them. They would not. They called the cops. The cops came. The cops were mad at me for some reason, siding with those people. Manager never came out. I got arrested. Never threatened anyone. They were all just like telling me, walk backwards, like follow these orders to fucking show I'm cooperative and stuff. And then eventually it was like, all right, you get in the car, put on these handcuffs. We're gonna fucking take you. And I was like, no. And then they forced themselves on me, but it was like, oh, fucking fine. Bastards, they threw me in there. And I was like, fucking on my chest, like hanging off the seat with my handcuffs back. And like, my feet were sticking halfway out the door, my legs. And he was like, get in. I'm like, what the? Fucking help me. I'm like, my hands are behind my back. I'm fucking handcuffed. I'm like, help me. Fucking help me up so I can get back in. Get into the fucking vehicle. You just threw me. I fucking had to fucking ask him like 7 times before he finally just fucking... It's not like I needed a lot of help, but I needed someone to kind of like pull me a little bit so I could just shift my weight. They were fucking bastards. I can't believe how fucked up they are. Like, really. Like, and it seemed like they were doing it on purpose. I don't get it. Okay, all right. Let's get that out. That's done. I thought that part was kind of funny. She was there too, thinking I knew she was watching. And then there's the part where I threw myself against the glass. The zombies are gonna get me. I hope that looks cooler in real life. Well, that's the Lawless One for you. Don't think you can be lawless just because I am. Because I will turn that right against you. Well, I guess that's it. I'm gonna have a soap or whatever, and I should finish this first, actually. I have platinumed Neptunia versus Sidran Kagura, Ninja Wars, today. Finish that, all the achievements. Yeah, it was cool. I like that. I really like their their costumes, their outfit designs, and that. Especially Nep-Neps. Hers is really good. I also like Go the Crow, otherwise known as Jet. I feel like I should have known who that is. I wonder if they were the one from Fairy Fencer. I'm not sure. I haven't finished that game yet. I only have a few more things left to do in Virtual Stars. I'm going to fight a couple secret bosses, optional bosses, and get the highest score and beat Tick. Highest rank. Probably pretty close, I would think. I don't really know. I've been doing it pretty regularly. There's been a lot of skits. Then I have to finish upgrading the facility. Raise level, or character's level all the way up. Not a whole lot, all things considered. Not like Tales of Berseria, where you had to get 100,000 Tails coins. I did it. But that was fucking ridiculous. $100,000 Tails coins. There was someone posted a strategy online. A good way to do it, though. You had to use, what's his name? Eisen? Do a combo. And, like, you wanted to, like, I'll tell you, if you're going to try and do it, you want to, like, not have it go as far as possible the first time. Because you want to, like, break your record each time. Because that'll give you extra coins. But eventually it's like, oh man, how the hell am I going to get it? Another freaking 3 meters or something. the sandbag. There's other games you can play, but I was like the fastest one. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is kind of a, I don't know, I'm kind of, all these fucking recent events, that recent arrest, it kind of fucked me up, and then I had to go to court today, and I kind of made it a little bit of a small scene there. Same shit, nobody wants to fucking listen to me, no one wants to take me seriously, they just want to like file papers about me and move me around like I'm paper. And I'm like, no, you need to fucking listen. That shit that happened was totally unjust. Police brutality, they had no right, I had every right to be there. Like, I am not going to let this stand. This is a big deal. Like, you know, like, fucking, and they were like, all right, calm down. And I was like, hold on. One of the main problems here is that I'm autistic. And I have a really hard time communicating with people. I need things to be clear so I can understand. And that's another thing I wanted to tell you about. I don't know if it's like this for everybody, but let me tell you how to fucking handle autism. Basically, you need to communicate in as simple terms as possible. As if you're like talking to a child. But you don't want to be like disrespectful. You just want to like be that clear. It's not because I don't understand everything else, but the language that you use, it won't like connect the same way unless you use like the most basic words, because those are like common for everything. So once I said that, the judge was like, oh, actually, I know all about this. You know, people in my life deal with this regularly. I'm familiar with it. And he addressed the situation. I was like, okay. And I was like, oh, all right, I understand now that you told me like that what I need to do. How this is working that way. Why none of you are trying to listen. None of you are going to listen to me. You know, because it's like, you told me to come down here to court. I want to get this shit done first time. I don't want to come to another court date. I want it done first time. I shouldn't even be here. Now I got to come down here again? Well, basically what it is, they're not going to have a trial right then and there. Oh. I feel like they could have fucking emailed me or whenever the fuck they're going to do that. But it's fine. It's fine. I'm not saying I know best for that. I'm saying I don't understand how it's so fucking goddamn complicated and not simplified. How many people go in and out of that system? You think you'd make it as simple as possible? Maybe that is simple for different situations, and it's like not always a fucking totally unjust Supreme Court situation where I'm like, yeah, I'll tell you, this already is big trouble. This is already going to go all the way up. It's going to go all the way up to the Supreme Court. When I open up the previous case that brought me in here, the president had me arrested in the same goddamn way. I think I didn't say goddamn. I was trying to hold my language back, but I did say fuck. Quietly, under my breath. I tried to restrain myself, but I couldn't. I'm fucking hard to deal with. I need a woman in life to just like hang by me and like just like pet me. Be like, shh, it's okay. It's okay. It's gonna be fine. Listen, they just want to know this. And I'm like, okay, all right. And I'll just tell them, and I won't be fucking outraged and like be like in a freaking super destructive warrior mode all the time. It's literally that easy. You know, don't think of me like I'm a little puppy, but it is pretty much the same thing. Yeah. Just gonna like touch me a little bit on the shoulder. Calm me down with a little pat. A little pat on the arm. My ears will fold back. I'll suddenly forget why I'm there. I need that very much in life. Everybody else needs that too. Because it's getting out of control. My stress levels are getting too high. My patience is wearing too thin. And I'm like, freaking, it's fucking happening way too good to happen easily. It's so goddamn hard finding a fucking girlfriend though. I can't even like talk to girls. I don't know where they are. You think they'd be on the internet somewhere. I can't find any. It's not like I work with any. Sometimes I go out in public and talk to them, and they usually don't want to have anything to do with me. I mean, I guess I don't really blame them. I'm probably like hauling cans around with like, just fucking was reaching in a fucking trash can a minute ago. I'm fucking go try and pick them up. I'm not surprised that doesn't work out too well. Someone will understand though. Those are the good ones. They're like, yeah, I remember when I was fighting on the streets. Kansas is good. I'm not on the streets right now. But, as you can see, I'm in a bathtub. They don't have bathtubs on the streets. But they should. One of the things I want to do is I want to open a bathhouse. I guess someone told me they have one here in Portland. I also want to open a maid cafe. That's going to fucking be a huge hit. Remember Hooters? Maid cafe is like Hooters Super Saiyan. You don't need you didn't need that at Hooters anyway. Do they even still have Hooters? I'm sure they do. I still see Hooters every now and then. I haven't seen any Hooters in Portland though, now that I think about it. Maybe that's like more of a East Coast thing. Southwest type thing. Hooters and Twin Peaks. I'm gonna open a maid cafe and a cat cafe. Neko Maid Cafe. Or maybe it'll just have like alternating days. Some days you'll have to put on the cat ears and the freaking tail. Other days they won't have to. They'll wear like the maid tiara. Yeah, guys could do it too. Just have to dress like maids. So they better be cute. But that's all like a state of mind, let me tell you. If you think your body has anything to do with it, it has the least to do with it. It is more about what you feel about yourself and others. And how that both works together. Other people and yourself. How that's like a feeling that you like bring in through your own expression. It doesn't really matter what you look like. As long as you can do that, you'll be cute. Generally men are not like feeling that for other people. Especially not men. It's embarrassing. Not for all of us though. Sometimes we are. Sometimes we're not bothered by it. Doesn't mean you're gay. But you'll probably be a good actor. You should probably get into the arts. It's pretty much like that. There's nothing wrong with that, nothing shameful about it. However, like what an artist does when they create a work and they like put themselves out there like that, I reckon someone who's not an artist would think that is like the most like embarrassing thing ever. Like a freaking unbearable. Like, oh man, everyone's gonna see me. Yep. They're gonna see you and you want to be loved. You need to be loved. You're fucking going to an extreme effort to make them happy. It's kind of pathetic. Whatever. Well, you could also be like me and be like, what do? I don't take crap from no one or something. I can insist on my works. I don't let my works be like changed by other people to like make people happy. It's all myself and I keep it all myself as much as possible. Sometimes there's some additions helping, stuff like that, some general like makeup or costume design or something. Perhaps, not always. It's usually just a little bit of stuff. But I don't totally change who I am to present myself to others. I don't change what art I'm doing to, instead of making what I want, to make what other people want. And that's part of it. That's not pathetic. If you're doing that, if you're doing it for yourself, it's not pathetic. But if you're like changing, if they're like, hey, I know you want to do science fiction, but everyone's into fucking, murder mystery, fucking Victorian era fiction right now. So, can you change that style and also make it a yaoi romance instead of Yuri or Boy Meets Girl? That's gonna sell. Yeah, it'll be good. And maybe you could write it and it could sell, but that would be a little bit more pathetic because you're not really putting yourself out there. You're putting something else out there. And you can only really make people truly happy when you give them your true self. So I suppose that's what's different about the sellout work and the genuine work. It's like, even if you aren't loved by everyone or you aren't loved right away, you have to be your true self in your work. Do it for yourself, your own, but it's all you. Other people help, but that is yours. It is not everyone else's and you do a part. No, it's yours. You do that, that allows for the highest potential happiness from the audience. Because that comes directly from the creator, the artist, the author, painter, musician, actor, director. It comes from them. It doesn't come from all the extra side things. They help. That's essential. Don't disregard that. But it goes all the way back to them, because if they didn't have that, nobody else would have side jobs to do. To make it better, to make the most of it. They bring that raw material out, like Shizuku, and maybe refine it as much as possible, but then everyone else contributes to that refinement process and makes it as perfect as it can possibly be. Then it goes out, but you need the source to go all the way back to the very soul of the person who made it. And that's how you'll get the best work. And that, what I was trying to tell you, that is pain. That is true pain. If you do that, you do not need to friggin' cause people suffering in real life just to try and provoke the beauty of adversity. No. Just do arts. Just do what I'm telling you. If you do that, if you put your whole self out in something like that and put it out, that is the greatest pain you could experience. That's all you need to do to have adversity. Maybe everyone will love it, but it will still hurt. It will be God pain, not world pain. God will see it. God will see yourself when you put yourself out there. And when you do that, and you're seen for the first time, hopefully you're not too bad. It's going to be horrible though, no matter what. Just count on that much. You're going to have to totally change to be better, no matter who you are, no matter how good you are. You're going to see all the things that are wrong with you. You're going to see how wrong they really are. But that's a safe way to bring adversity upon yourself, to bring out the highest potential of yourself. As you do something like that, it is in a sense altruistic, and it's kind of like the offering yourself on a cross for everyone's salvation. It's pretty much that, except you're not offering your body, you're offering your soul, and you're not losing anything either. So you'll be able to do it again. You might come back. It might take some time for your batteries to recharge and all that, and for your resources to be refilled. But you don't need to worry about that being a permanent loss. You're not losing anything. You're only gaining. But it still hurts. It's still like pouring all of yourself out. Oh, yeah. Could be pretty bad. It was pretty bad, as far as I know. I think things will be better, though. I think it'll be better to look at it again. I'm thinking about republishing Storyteller. I'm not sure yet, though. Putting it out again, going through it, editing it, cleaning it up. Maybe, patching some stuff up, modifying some things. But I think part of the reason why it is important is because it is like a first it's part of it is supposed to be like rough and gritty, grungy, and like kind of like, yeah, not refined, not super talented, not perfect. It's supposed to be like messed up. And but is also supposed to be very good too. So like that's just on a deeper level. The surface is probably like are gonna upset water, choppy waves and stuff like that, some rain and whatnot. But the depths, it goes a lot deeper than you might think in that lake. A lot deeper. That's kind of part of the point. Hard to explain. But I'm thinking, so maybe I'll just keep them separate. I'll create like, or maybe I'll write like one with footnotes or commentary. Fuck, I'm not gonna do anything. Screw it. I'm not gonna do anything until the girl gets here and tells me what to do because I can't figure anything out for myself without her to tell me what other people think. All right, till next time.